Om Bhadram Karnebi Shrunuyam Deva Bhadram Pashe Makshabhir Yajatra Sthirai Rangai Stuštavansas Tanubi Vashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddhashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starksho Arishtanemi Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We are studying here Atharva Veda Mundaka Upanishad with Shankar's commentary. And in the second section of the second Mundak, we had read up to 8th mantra that day. And the topic is in the second section of the second Mundak, from the beginning, the sadhana has been told. And sadhana has been described as Onkar is the bow given by Upanishads. And our self, the apparent self normally, is the arrow. And putting this, and it has to be sharpened by continuous practice of upasana. And then mind should be filled with the bhav of Brahman. That will be equivalent to the drawing of the arrow. And then hit it. Hit means let the mind go directly to the Brahman. And having hit, it should become one with it. That is the figure given. And then the result of this sadhana was told. And more and more nature of that Atman was described so that the concept becomes more and more clear. And then we are told that in the 8th mantra, the result of this sadhana is Paramatma Gyan. And the result of that knowledge is this in the 8th mantra. So we go back to the 8th mantra. Vidyate hridaya granthi, chidyante sarva samshaya, kshiyante chasya karmani, tasmin drishte paravare. So if you go by syntax, then tasmin drishte paravare. Paravara has two meanings here. Parabrahma, Avara Brahma. Nirgun Brahma is beyond everything. So it is called Parabrahma. And the other aspect of that very Brahman is that it is all pervading. We call it Sagun Brahma. So that is called lower Brahman. There is no upper and lower physical in Brahman, but because it is beyond everything, so Parabrahma, and because nearer to us, so lower Brahma. Our Brahma actually means very close to us, near to us, because it is all pervading. So, tasmin drishte paravare, having seen. Now, seen in the case of Brahman, our own real nature, we have learned from the beginning of Mundak, is not a subject perceiving the object. But seeing always represents direct experience. And so seeing means having directly experienced that Brahman which is both para and avara. What happens then? In our heart. Now what is heart? Heart can be understood in many ways. Heart is the seat of consciousness. That is how most revered Yatishwaran Maharaj used to describe it. Feel the seat of your consciousness. That means, where do we feel our I consciousness? You ask somebody, will you do this thing? He will immediately say, yes, I will do. Some people wrongly conceive that eye is in the eyebrows. We should meditate in the eyebrows. Nowhere it has been described in Vedanta. We know that Thakur's Guru Tatapuri asked him to, but that is for a man who is already experiencing Brahman. Only that form is not going, so he asked him there. Shankaracharya has repeatedly pointed out, wherever it is said that, look here, he says only drishti is meant there, not meditation. So heart is the place which is where our eye stands. Some people again say that in the yoga chakras are mentioned, so that is in the spinal column. Now the chakra may be in the spinal column, and when the kundalini rises, let it go to spinal column. But our eye consciousness is always where our chest is. And then, first of all. Second thing, our mind. Mind is an instrument which normally connects us with the outside world. Now, where is the seat of the mind? Heart. Seat of the mind is heart. But where is mind? In waking state, the mind is gone throughout the universe. It has not gone away. Center is there. But like a wave, it goes on throughout the world. Now, when we are dreaming, or even in waking state, suppose we close our eyes. Where is mind? Mind is throughout our body. Because we have closed our eyes, it is not going outside. But it imagines things. And all those things it imagines or mentally visualizes, they are all situated within our body, in the nerves in the body. Now, where does it go when either we are meditating deeply or we are sleeping? Sleeping without dream. Then the mind comes back to its center. So that is one way to understand heart. Now suppose we are meditating. So mind is not going outside. And we are meditating deeply. So mind has come inside the heart. Swami Jagadananda has defined this as heart is the seat of the brain. That is Swamiji's famous sentence. Have you caught this point? I will explain it to you. There was a conversation. One girl, she was doing PhD in philosophy. She had come with her father to our Nagpur ashrama. And she is telling father, what is the function of this heart? We study mathematics by our brain, we study physics by our brain, we study philosophy by our brain. The father told her, who decides whether we should study physics or mathematics? Not your brain. Because there is no reason involved in that. Huh? So your heart tells study physics, then your brain starts working. And summing up all this, Swamiji has said, heart is the seat of the brain. So those who teach us meditation, dhanam, physically they demonstrate that put your right palm on your chest. Put the left hand on that right palm, so that it will be easier for you to feel your heart. So, heart is the location where we experience our real nature. Now, inside, it does not mean that the reality or Brahman is constrained within that place. No. But we experience it there. How we are going to experience? Sometimes it is told it is in a cave. Now, I consciousness is working in that cave. And what is making the I consciousness work is in the cave. And we have seen in the beginning of this chapter, Avi, Guhacharam. So there in the cave, when it apparently moves, we see, hear and everything. So that has been pointed out in this section itself. So we now know what is heart. Now in that heart, this I also lives. And this I is only an appearance. It has no real existence. And we have wrong knowledge about ourselves and about the world. We take ourselves to be a subject living in the midst of the objects which are the world. That is our consciousness about ourselves and the world simultaneously. And that is false. In the real nature, there is no subject-object split at all. It is one without a second. That is the meaning of the word Advaitam, remember. The word Advaitam did not come in opposition to Dvaita Vishtadvaita. Advaita word is in the 7th mantra of the Mundaka Upanishad. And the meaning is that without the subject-object split. So, this subject-object split itself is like a knot. This I is produced as a subject. And this I consciousness, reflection maybe, is tied to this jada, body, indriyas, mind, etc. Though consciousness cannot have any relation with matter because it has no parts. But apparently it is tied firmly. So that knot, it is conceived as a knot. And that is the first expression of ignorance or wrong knowledge, this aham. So that is the, now when the knowledge comes, this is gone forever. And so it is described as vidyate hridaya granthi. Sometimes granthis, plural is used. In that case, due to this basic ignorance or I consciousness, so many complexes are formed. They are called the knots. But when it is used as a singular knot, it means this basic ignorance, this I consciousness, so that is gone forever. Vidyate hridaya granthi. Vidyate, broken. Then comes samshaya. Unless we know a thing, unless we realize a thing, unless we experience a thing, doubts never go away. But in the beginning, there are hundreds of doubts. I am quoting from revered Swami Ranganathananji's pamphlet which he used to give at the time of initiation. And it is, these days there is a short form, questions frequently asked. So he has dealt with this fact that people ask about doubts. So in the beginning there will be hundreds of doubts. But if you read standard books, that is what he is saying, books written by rishis. And he has given the example like the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda's complete verse, Gita Upanishad. So 50% doubts will vanish, because anticipatorily they have replied to our doubts. Now you proceed in sadhana and you get some touch of experience, then more and more doubts will vanish. And when you realize your real nature, all doubts will go. That is the way. So, chidyante sarva samshaya. Sarva means without exception. So, some are remaining, some are like that. When you realize, experience your real nature, the Paravara Brahman, then no place for any doubt remains. Here, let me clarify, because somebody has raised this question. Doubts about what? Let me take any example. That person quoted Shuka's example. That we are told that Shuka had a doubt whether my father has given me full knowledge or not. Though he has got knowledge. There, of course, the second meaning of Paravara comes. The second meaning of Paravara is when it comes as a parampara, Guru parampara to you, it is called Paravara. Now, that means we are discussing some human psychology. Swami Jagadananda is beautifully described in various places. Whenever we experience something new, strange, singular, our mind is thrown out of balance. What it is, what it is, what it is. Then what we do? What is all our knowledge in the world? Find a pigeonhole to keep that. That means find a group already existing where you include that. You see a stone falling, you are disturbed. You see everything falls, then you call it law of gravitation. You know now. So, this in a Vedantic book is called Chitta Vishranti Rahitya. Perhaps in Vidyaranya's Jivan Mukti way. I'm not sure about it, but perhaps that. But the sentence I am clear. Chitta Vishranti Rahitya. Now, when we find a group, then that gets settled. So, as they understood, so he said, you go to Janaka. And Janaka made some arrangement, this or that, and then asked him to carry a cup of milk and all that. So he showed to him that what your father has taught, what I am teaching you, and the effect of all that you see. So he became convinced. That was the example given. So I was asked that how this doubt remain if Shuka is Brahmagya Varishta. So he had no doubt that Brahman alone is real, that the world is unreal. No doubt. But whether this is the final experience or something beyond that is there, my father out of attachment may not have taught me, that was his doubt. Coming back to practical world, we see in Sri Ramakrishna or all Brahmagya Purushas, suppose you have sent somebody for some work, errand. Whether he has reached or not, Swamiji, somebody had gone to Mayavati and Swamiji was feeling so anxious that he sent another person there. So don't think that the doubts in the practical world have any place in this mantra. That is important. Sarva samshaya means basic doubts about nature of Brahman, nature of our own self, nature of the world, that no doubt remains. One should be clear about it. Otherwise, how he doubted that? So, sarva samshaya means all doubts regarding our real nature, the real nature of the world, that is gone. Now no more doubt. Kshiyante chasya karmani. Now karmani is used in plural. And plural in Sanskrit is at least three. Because there is a special dvivachan. Ekvachan, dvivachan, bahuvachan. So at least there have to be three types of karmas. Karmani plural should not mean many karmas, should mean types of work. So at least three types of work should be there, which have gone. Khiyante. Khiyante means normally whenever we do karma, two things happen. One is the outside result, and second is the impression or sanskar which it makes in us, which has the potency to repeat that work again. And that is how we go on from birth to birth. It is called karmashaya. So, we do, and no karma gets exhausted. Its outside result may end, but the sanskar it has made in us, it can get exhausted or nullified only when I am not the doer. All these karmas, ashaya, hangs around a peg which is called I consciousness. This Muṇḍaka itself will describe at the end the glorious death of that person, glorious passing away from the body. And there it will say, karma along with I consciousness become one with Brahman. So karmas are always associated with the I consciousness. Now having seen Paravara Brahman, the I consciousness has gone. Now we have been doing karma, we do not know how many births have gone, anadi. And some of it starts functioning in this body. This body itself is made by some karmas which are most prominent. And they will continue because that momentum is there on that karma. Like when the potter is moving that wheel, not electric, by hand, and then he stops. It will revolve a little and stop. In the cycle, there is a free wheel. Now you have stopped pedaling. Free wheel you have stopped, but the other wheel has a momentum. So, like that, all the works which you have done in the past are stored. That is called sanchita karma. Now, some karma out of that has started functioning here. And it has not got exhausted. So it is still there. That is called prarabdha karma. Prarabdha, which has begun bearing fruit. Now, before knowledge, we are doing some karma. So, that is agami. It will bear fruit afterwards. And then, after knowledge also, by the body and mind, some karmas are happening. Kriyamana. That may be interchanged, you technically see. Kriyamana and agami. So, agami means yet to come. And kriyamana means which you have done. That is correct. So, kriyamana means which we are doing at the time of knowledge. And agami means future. So, we have seen 4 types of karma. Now the prarabdha will continue. But the fun is that the man of knowledge will have nothing to do with that prarabdha. Because he is not the body, he is not the mind. He has lost his eye consciousness also. So it is actually God working in that body now. So if he wills, he may drop his body there. Understood? So the prarabdha may work at his will. And if it is working, he is not attached to that. He knows I am not working, he is going on. Now all other three types of work, there is no place now. Because I, the doer, has gone. So, karmani kshiyante means sanchita, kriyaman, agami, they are gone. Prarabdha may remain at the will of the doer. Okay. Further, if you want analysis, in Vivek Chudamani, Shankara has analyzed it. Let it go. It is beyond our scope. That is, first we get some knowledge. And that knowledge, we have to make it continuous. And that knowledge has to culminate. So this process is called nididhyasana. It is technically called jnananishta purush. So Shankara has shown there that this prarabdha talk is about the jnananishta purush. For a jnani, nothing. Nothing means he does not care for that. So this is the distinction he has made. Anyway, so we are no more afraid that what will happen to us in future. So kiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. And paravara, as I already told you, the Parabrahma and our Brahma, that means we should be clear that Brahman is not only transcendent, but it is immanent also. Now, in this case, what happens? I am discussing it from all points. Shankar, in his commentary, has emphasized Nirgun Brahma more than Saguna Brahma. And due to this emphasis, people think that Shankar knows only Nirgun Brahma. But if we come to the Ramakrishna mission, Thakur or his disciples had never any doubt. And the first Vedanti we know, other than them, is Swami Jagadananda, who has translated Great Master. And when Yogatmananda was in training center, Atma Sanjay was take their classes sometimes or talk to them. And he told them that he learned from Jagadanandaji, Atma Sanjay. So he said, Jagadanandaji very clearly told us that the only difference between Shankaracharya and Thakur Swamiji is emphasis, nothing else. Understood? What Thakur has emphasized? Either you say no special emphasis on anything, or equal emphasis on Nirguna and Saguna Brahma. Ami kakhona nitya thaki, kakhona lilai. So nitya means absolute, unchanging. Lila means its manifestation. So that is the only difference. So I think we have discussed this mantra from many sides. Let us see what Shankar says. Asya Paramatma Dhyanasya Phalamidam Avidiyate. So result of sadhana is Paramatma Dhyan. Result of Paramatma Dhyan, that means effect in life. That is the result. That is being described. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi Avidya Vasana Prachayo Buddha Shraya Kamaha. So Shankar defines Hridaya Granthi as the desire, Kam singularly used. I would say the desire means subject-object split. That itself is the root of all desires. He says, avidya vasana prachayo. Prachaya means extension. Vasana means impression. Avidya means wrong knowledge. So, wrong knowledge has an impression, the extension of which is desire. You understand? Avidya is the subject-object split. And that has created the impression in our mind. And the extension of this impression is desire. As soon as there is a subject and there is object, the subject desires the object. Kama. Kama yasya ridi shruta, brudarnakiti shrutyantarat. Hriday Granthi, na? So, Kathopanishad says that the desires, plural, which are located in his heart. So, not of the heart. Shankar says, Hridaya Shrayo also na Atma Shraya. So, desires are never in our real self. That is another important thing. People in general do not know the real self. No, you might have heard some people talking or cinema songs. मेरी आत्मा की ये आवाज है. Now all that atma is antakaran, heart, not the real self. So Shankar says, all the kamas are in the hridaya, not in the atman. Vidyate vedam vinasham ayati. Vidyate means, vedam means, no, not difference. Vedam means cut, make into pieces. That means destroy. Chidyante sarva jnaya vishaya samshaya. Jnaya vishaya means what was to be known? Brahman. So about that all samshayas are gone. Not about every object of the world. Jnaya vishaya is only Brahman. Jnaya vishayaha, plural, is for samshaya. So, sarva jnaya vishaya samshaya chiddante. Lokika nam amaranattu ganga surutavat pravritta. For the worldly people, like the flow of the Ganges, these doubts never end. Vichedamayanti.
चल रहा है क्या? हाँ.
Somebody is producing noise, huh? Hello? All are listening, huh? You close that. Huh? So, now here, you don't have book, you have book, na? Oh, English book. Okay. Now, in our Hindi book, a parenthetical 2 dashes are to be introduced. Can you see me? Because Gambhiran has his own way. Now here I disagree, huh? Luckily I saw that. Anyway, there was a pencil here. You should always keep a pencil. You give your own pencil. Anything you give. Now mind you, huh? I'm telling you something. all doubts with regard to all objects of cognition. I just now explained that such a man can have many doubts in the world. So plural is for doubts, not about the objects. That you find out, huh? That persists in ordinary men continuously till death, like the current of the Ganga, are dispelled. And once of the man whose doubts have been solved, whose ignorance has been removed, the actions, I dash it there here. Asya vichhinna samshayasya nivritta avidyasya yani vijnanotpatte prak. Now he's talking about karmas. Vichhedam ayanti. Asya vichhinna samshayasya, one who his samshayas are gone. Nivritta avidyasya, his ignorance has gone. Yani vijnanotpatte praktanani. That is, when the experiential knowledge has arisen before that. Now here, there should be a comma or something. Huh? Janmantare cha apravritta phalani. Janmantare cha. That means two different things he is telling na, by cha. So that which has happened before knowledge in this life and which we have done previously also. So they are clubbed together. Jnanotpatti sahabhavini cha kshiyan. Jnanotpatti sahabhavini cha. Now knowledge has come. So knowledge once come as permanent. So along with that, sir, comes some karmas are going on. Kshiyante karmani. They are gone. Natu etat janma arambakani pravritta phalatvat. So Prarabdha he has brought separately. Three things he has told. He has not given names. That the karmas which are done in this life before knowledge, karmas we have done in past lives, and karmas which will happen after knowledge, they are all destroyed, but not those which have started this life of ours. Pravritta phalani, pravritta phalatvat, because they have already started giving results, so they will give. Tasmin sarvadne asansarini. No, tasmin drishte paravare. So, tasmin is saptami. Now, saptami is not always location. Saptami is condition. Sati saptami, we say. So, tasmin, sarvadne asansarani paravare. That means all words will go into saptami, in sati saptami. Drishte paravare. So, in the condition in which paravara Brahman has been realized, that is the meaning. Paravare, paramcha, sarvadne, asansarini, that is Brahman. Paravare. Paramcha karanatmana, avaramcha karyatmana. So, Nirgun Brahma is the root cause. Sagun Brahma is the manifestation. Tasmin paravare. Now, drashte, sakshad aham asmiti drishte. So it is not subject seeing object, as I am that. Sansara karanochedat. So these are the causes of sansar. Muchyate iti artha. So he is free from the causes of sansar. That is the result. Now, uktasya arthasya sankshepavidhayaka uttare mantras trayopi. Now, what has been told in this very section whole is summarized in 3 mantras, he says. Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahma nishkalam tat shubram jyotisham jyoti tad yad atma vido viduhu. Hiranmay, shining like gold. That means consciousness again. Pare koshe. Kosha is the receptacle. So because we are talking of the heart as the receptacle, so it is kosha. Pare means it is beyond the normal koshas. When there is an akasha, outside space, then there is a mental space. And then this kosha is beyond all those places. Pare koshe. Virajam Brahma. Now there is no Rajagun in Brahman. Don't think that Sattvagun and Tamogun are there. Think of these 3 gunas not in the normal Sankhya way. Think in the Vedantic way. What is the meaning of the word Sattva? Sattva. Sattva, the existence. And one existence is Brahman, all. And I exist, you exist. So that is real Sattva, and this is colored Sattva. Now, as soon as this is a colored Sattva, some coloring is there or not? And coloring in a man we see in 2 ways. Huh? No, he's fair or black, this or that, his liking is different, that liking is different. And objectively, 2 friends go to the same shop, different colors are chosen. Our body appearance, we are human beings, but no 2 eyes or noses will be identical. So, this is Rajogun. Ranjanatmakam Raja. That which colors is Rajogun. So our Sattva always has a Rajogun. Now take a glass. Colorless glass, transparent. Sattvagun. Now some color you give. Generally Rajogun is called red, but some color. Then the vision becomes translucent. Now you make that color dark. All dark colors will be like black, opaque. That is Tamogun. When the Rajogun becomes dense, it becomes Tamogun. So that is the Vedantic understanding of Sattva Rajatama. So if you talk of Raja, we have talked of all colorings. When we undergo sannyasa, we perform a Viraja Homa. There also meaning is same. That let the coloring of all my pranas, all my indriyas, all my these many things are described may go away, and I should shine as a pure consciousness. These are the mantras. So, Virajam Brahma. Brahma has no color. Nishkalam. Brahman has no parts. Kala, in the Muṇḍaka Upanishad and in Prashna Upanishad, 16 kalas will be described. Kalas means parts of this appearance of the world. But in Brahman there are no parts. Only in the apparent world there are parts. So Brahman being infinite, there is no chance of having a part. So Nishkalam. So this is all description of Brahman. Summarizing the whole thing. Tat Shubram. Shubram means white, means pure. Because it has no parts, because it is without a second, there is no chance of getting adulterated. So tat Shubram. Jyotisham Jyoti. You understand? In Kathopanishad, Nityo Anityanam Chetanas Chetananam, not Achetananam. The world is full of Jyotis. Sun Jyoti, Moon Jyoti, Lamp Jyoti, Agni Jyoti. But this is the physical Jyoti. We see because sun is there. But how do we see the sun? How do we know that we see? Because of Brahman is there. Consciousness is only Brahman. So Jyotisham Jyoti means that which makes us aware of the Jyotis, or the Jyotis function due to its Jyoti. So is the Jyoti of the Jyoti. You have seen this word somewhere in daily practice? Yeah? In the Arati composed by Swamiji for Thakur, Jyotira Jyoti. In Bengali, Jyotira means of Jyoti. Jyotisham Jyoti, Jyotira Jyoti. Jyotisham Jyoti. Tad yad atma vido vidu. So this is a matter of realization of those who have realized their self. Shankar says, Hiranmaye, Jyotirmaye, Buddhi Vijnana Prakashe. Hiranmaya means shining, means that which makes the Buddhi Vijnana. This word Buddhi is quite overlapping. Buddhi, Aham, Bodha, they are overlapping. So Buddhi in scriptures mostly means Bodha, not the intellect. So Buddhi Vijnana, in our both there is knowledge. Prakashe. That means it shines as the consciousness in our Bodha. Pare koshe, koshe iva ase. Asi means sword. So sword is kept in that man, the sheath. So like that it is a koshe, he says. Atma Swarupa Upalabdhi Sthana Tat. Because we are experiencing the Atman there, so it is like a sheath. Param Tat Sarvabhyantaratvat. Pare koshe. Because the innermost of all, so it is para. Not outside, not mental, innermost of all, so it is para koshe. Tasmin virajam avidyadi ashesha dosha rajomala varjitam. He describes raja is avidya is the main fault. Avidya adi. From there many faults come in our life. Ashesha dosha, that is rajogun. That is the dirt like rajogun. Rajomala varjitam. It is not there. Brahma, what is the meaning of the word Brahman? Sarva Mahatvat Sarvatmatvat Cha. Shankara described in various places. Here, because it is the biggest of all and because it is all. Sarva Mahatvat Sarvatmatvat Cha. Because it is bigger than everything and because it is the reality of everything. Sarvatmatvat means reality of everything. Sarva Mahatvat means biggest amongst everything. That is the meaning of the word Brahma. Nishkalam nirgata kala yasmat tad nishkalam nirvayam ityartha. So kala means avaya parts. There is no parts in Brahman. Yasmat virajam nishkalam cha atas tat shubram shuddham. Now, you will remember in Swamiji's Jnana Yoga, taking one particular aspect of Atman or Brahman, he derives everything from that. Like that we find that. Because it is Viraja and Nishkala, so it is pure. Like that. Tasmat Shubram. Shubram Shuddham. Pure. Jyotisham Sarva Prakashatmanam Agnadinam Api Tad Jyoti Tad Avasakam. He says Jyotisham means like fire. But how we are aware of the fire? Because of consciousness. So it is avabhasakam. It reveals Agni to us because consciousness. Agnadinam api jyotishtam antargata brahmatma chaitanya jyotir nimittam iti artha. Two meanings. We know it is fire because of Brahma conscious. And the light which Agni is giving is also from Brahman, not its own. Tadi param jyoti yad anya anavabhasyam atma jyoti. So what is parajyoti? That which is not revealed by anything else. It itself is self-luminous. Tad yad atmavida atmanam swam shabdadi vishay buddhi pratyaya sakshinam. Shabdadi vishay buddhi, both. Of shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha. All these are like vibrations. But who is constant behind those vibrations? That is called sakshi. Unchanging witness. Ye vivekina mane atma tadyad atmavido na. For Atman, this is the translation done. Self means the eternal witness, unchanging of all the vibrations of our consciousness. Ye vivekino vidu, those discriminating people who know this, vijananti, experience this, te atmavida. Tad vidu, atma pratyanusarina. Atmavida he qualifies. They follow the perception of their Atman. They do not follow the outside objects. So Atmavidam has some special meaning. Yasmat param jyoti tasmat teva tadvidu na itare bahyartha pratyaya anusarena. Others are outside, some objects are there, they go along with that. And these people are habituated to see the reality of self. So that is the way. Now, a very famous shloka mantra is coming, common to Kathopanishad. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutoyam agnihi, tamayva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. The sun does not shine there. Then it is dark. Sun will shine for objects which do not have shine themselves. But he is shining himself, so sun does not reach there. It is not an object to be illumined by the sun. No Chandra Tarakam, neither moon, all the Jyotishas which we know, neither moon nor stars, nor this Ima Vidyuto, that means the electric which shine, thunder. Kutoyam Agni, and this Agni is our earthly thing. So how can fire go there? Tameva bhantam anuvati sarvam. Here, little careful. Huh? Because in a literal way, it will mean when it shines, then the others shine. But it is always shining. Understood? The Tameva Bhantam should not be taken when. Because Because it is shining, so everything is shining. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Anubhati means after that. When it shines, again, when and all that should not be taken as sometimes it shines. As it is shining, behind him others shine. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vivati. Sarvamidam. How we see things? Because in Brahman's light we are seeing everything. So in the Kathopanishad, there is a question behind this mantra. Does it shine? Can we see it? Like that question is asked. He said it shines. Because of it we are seeing everything. That is the answer. Here it is a part of that summary. Katham tat jyotisham jyotiriti uchyate. How it is jyotisham jyoti? Na tatra tasmin swatma bhute brahmani. That Brahman which is our real self. Sarvava bhasakopi suryo bhati. Sun does not, sun though reveals everything else, does not reveal that. Tad Brahman na prakashayati iti artha, it does not reveal Brahman. Sai tasyeva bhasa sarvam anyad atmajatam anatmajatam. Tasyeva bhasa sarvam anyad anatmajatam prakashayati iti artha. Surya, that which is not self, taking shine from Brahman, sun reveals everything which is not self. Anatma jatam prakashayati, that is sun's capacity. Natu tasya swata prakashana samartham. Sun has no capacity to reveal things of itself. Tatha na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto vanti kutoyam agni asmat gochara. Kim bahuna, what more to say? Yadidam jagat bhati tat tameva parameshwaram swato bharupatvat bhantam. So bhantam is not past tense. Bhantam is because its nature is luminous. Dipyamanam anubhati anudipyate. Because it is shining, so everything shines. Yatha jalol mulkadi agni sanyogad agnim dahantam anudahati na swata tadvat tasyeva bhasa diptya sarvidam suryati jagadvivat. He gives an example. Now you heat water to boiling or steaming, then that water burns. But it is not burning by its own heat. It has borrowed heat and is burning. Similarly, a charcoal or something. Now there is Agni in that. So it is burning, not that charcoal is burning. So like that, everything reveals other things because it's light. Tasyeva bhasa diptya sarvamidam suryadi jagad vivati. So Surya reveals the whole world by its shine. Yata evam tadeva brahma bhati cha vivati cha. So it is self-luminous and it shines in various ways, vivati. Karyagatena vividena bhasa. So in the world produced by Brahman, the sun and other things are there. So it shines in their form, it shines by itself. Tasya brahmano bharupatvam sato avagamyate. So we understand that it is self-luminous. Nai sato avidyamanam bhasana anyasya kartum shakti. If it does not have light itself, it could not have made others light. Ghatadinam anyam abhasakatva adarshanath bharupanam cha adityadinam darsh. So relative example is a jar cannot make other things shine, sun can make. So like that, because it is light itself, it is making sun also shine. I thought we could complete, but we repeated 8th today from all sides. So leave it for next Wednesday. Time is up. Om Badram Karnebhi Shrunayama Deva Badram Pashyem Akshabhir Yajatra Sthirai Rangai Stushtavanshas Tanubi Vyashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddha Shrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत। श्री रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।